Welcome back, everyone, to more Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing. Today's race will be at Grant Park, which is a lot of fun to race at. A very flat track. You really need to have a lot of momentum to make good lap time around this track, which is very much like all of the tracks in this car, since you can run all of them, or at least almost all of them, completely wide open. So we are in the midst of trying to build up our car so that we can actually compete with these guys. Some tracks we are able to do pretty good. Other tracks, we're struggling to make the A main. That's sort of where we are in our career right now. Back in Season 1, for those of you who might be just joining us, Season 1 was a struggle. Making it to the A main was an absolute highlight. That felt like a victory for us whenever we could make it happen. Now here in Season 2, we've made a few upgrades to the car. You see it at the bottom of the screen. We are at a plus 64 of 66. We'll make some repairs and get that back to a plus 66 before our next race. But that's kind of where we are right now. We're about midway through our upgrades for the most part. A lot of 2-star upgrades. If we come back over to the garage, as we scroll down through the parts, you can see we've got 2-star for the engine, and then you come down to the tires where we've got the maximum 3-star. But then in the middle, we've got a chassis and suspension that are still at 1-star, because what I've seen in our testing is that these really don't get us much of anywhere, which is unfortunate, but it ties in very well to the NASCAR Heat Series, where certain upgrades don't quite equate to the same amount of performance as others. And what we've seen is, if you want to get faster here, it's all about tires and engine. So that's why we've upgraded those first. And of course, another reason is the tires simply were much cheaper to upgrade. So we could get to a 3-star tire much easier than we could a 3-star engine. So with that in mind, what we're saving up for now is I really want to move up to that 3-star engine, because if we can get there, then we can start to upgrade our chassis and suspension, which will give us additional speed, no doubt, but not quite at the amount that we need right now in order to spend the money we have saved. So we're sitting in our bank account, top right-hand corner of your screen, $27,879, which seems like a lot of money until we click on buy a new part for the engine and see that we need somewhere around $60,000 roughly for a decent engine in the 3-star category. Obviously, if you had unlimited funds, you would go for the top engine, which is almost $89,000, but we'll never make it quite that far, simply because I don't plan on spending that much time in this particular division. We'll see how this season goes. Maybe we get an opportunity to move up a division, maybe we don't. But for right now, we're planning on moving up to this 3-star engine for $56,210. And we are roughly halfway there right now, just to give you an idea of how many races and how long it takes. Now, with that in mind, always keep in mind that I'm playing on the maximum difficulty. So if you lower the difficulty 1 to 2 levels, then you're going to get much better finishes and you can accumulate money quicker, move up through the series quicker, and so on. But I prefer to keep it on the maximum difficulty and just see how long it takes to get the upgrades when you're finishing where we've been finishing. So let's come back over to the garage screen. Let's do some repairs. Again, you can see the amount it's going to take: 478, 172, 187, and 148. So not a lot of money, but there again, we're not making all that much money from each of the races, so it makes our journey that much longer. Certainly much longer than it would be in the NASCAR Heat Series, where we can upgrade our car at a much quicker rate than we can here. So all our repairs are done. You can see at the top of the screen, plus 66. We are now back to maximum performance for our level of car. Now it's time to race. Practice and qualifying now in the books, and everything went actually much better than I was expecting based on their goal time. As I've mentioned in previous videos, normally at this point in our career, it is pretty difficult to meet that goal time. We usually, if we're going to meet it, just barely meet it by a few hundredths of a second, maybe a tenth at the most. But here, I was able to easily beat that. You notice goal time of 13.10. Our best lap in qualifying, 12.85, and I ran a grand total of 2 laps. The first lap was to get an idea of what kind of speed we had. The second lap, there was a car gaining on me, so I just wanted to see how quick he was compared to us, and he went by us at a pretty high rate of speed. We are still well off the leader's pace here. At most tracks, it is roughly a second, give or take a tenth or two, depending on the track, but roughly a second at this point. Now, qualifying, you notice, was quite a bit quicker at 12.54, multiple tenths quicker than practice, and that is simply because during qualifying, I know there's nobody else on the track with me, so I can run exactly the line that I want to, and was able to run much quicker. But unfortunately, during the race, we can't run that line because there's too many other cars out there trying to make passes. But the good news is, our qualifying time put us in the 11th position, by far and away, if memory serves me correctly, the highest starting position that we've had from qualifying at 11th position. So that's going to put us in heat race number 3. But remember, goal number 1 is to make it to the A main.
It's time for heat number 3. The top 2 move on to the qualify dash.
Top 2 to the qualifying dash, top 5 to the A main. You can see we're starting on the inside of row 2, which is a very different look for us in starting position. And as always, we're going to go for it and try to get everything we can. You can see we're in the lead right now, and I'm trying to stick it to the bottom for as long as I can. All right, so that guy, actually saw him coming, so I tried to give him some room. All right, he's going to go to the high side, and I'm surely...
Tip of the green, 2 to go.
Ooh, I thought he was underneath me. Yeah, there he is. So I was trying to give him some room. As long as he keeps going to the high side, we're going to have a shot here at getting the victory in this heat. Oh yeah, he did the smart thing there, and he really held us down in that corner. Didn't allow me to keep the speed, so we'll come home in second position, and that means we're going to the qualifying dash.
The qualify dash is just about to start. The winner of this race starts on the pole of the A main.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful to hear. And at some point in the future, we will have an opportunity to race to start on the pole of the A main. But for right now, we're starting in 7th position out of a total of 8 cars in this race. Oh, look out. 8th position just got into us there. So that was an excuse me, I'm coming through. But there's no way he's going to ruin my excitement and wipe the smile off my face right now. We're in the qualifying dash, and we've only been here 1, maybe 2 other times to this point in our career.
Tip of the green, 2 to go.
All right, 2 to go, and this guy is absolutely, that yellow car there is absolutely wearing my bumper out. Ooh, look out. Was that the leader that came through, or what? Because he was coming by quickly. All right, there you have it. So we'll come home in 7th position. I have no idea where 8th was. He must have been way back there, because we certainly did not have a great qualifying dash. So that means in the A main, we'll be starting in the 7th position.
It's time for the event you've all been waiting for. It's time for the A main. Good luck out there.
Good luck indeed. So A main starting in the 7th position, one of our better starting spots ever in an A main to this point in our career. So let's see what we can do with it. I believe we have 15 laps here. This track, I'll try to steal a glimpse here. Yes, top left-hand corner of your screen. It would really be nice if I could sling this car into the corner, but this game really doesn't like that. It doesn't like for you to get the car out on the right rear too much. All right, you can see we've had a great start to the race. I'm trying to give these guys on the room because I have no idea where the rest of the cars are. I don't spend a great deal of time looking in my rearview mirror. Oh, yikes, look out. All right, we got pushed up out of the groove a little bit there. Let's try to get right back to it, though. Try to get back down on this bottom. Ooh, these guys are coming by me in a hurry right now. But as they slide up the track, I should be able to get below them. Ouch. I think that was the purple car that got into us there. Yep, there he is. So a total of 15 laps, and this is one of my favorite tracks. Love this track. It is extremely wide and very flat.
Getting into a rhythm out there. Great job.
All right, so we're back to 7th, which is, of course, where we started. And yeah, these guys are coming by me pretty quickly now.
Constantly working on improving our racetrack here, so head on down to the concession stand and grab a bite to eat.
All right, so sitting in 6th position, can't really complain about that. And as always, trying to stick to this bottom as much as we can. I would like to let it float all the way out to the wall on the straights, but I just don't know where the other cars are. Ouch, okay, ouch, please get off of me at least. Yikes, he gave us quite a ride in that corner. Oh, the Xbox has decided to have a few hiccups there. All right, still in 6th position, somehow through all of that, the huge hiccup from the Xbox, where it just froze up on me there for a couple of seconds. You can see the temperature gauge warning there. That's because I am getting all the RPMs I can out of this engine right now to try to help us up off the corner, and because we are running the bottom around the track, so we need all the engine we can get. All right, a couple of laps to go, I believe is what he said.
It's the last lap.
All right, last lap. All right, there you go, 25th position, last position, and we lapped them. Hey, I'll take it. That's usually us getting lapped. So 4th position.
Let's take a look at the official results.
This is another one of those times I wish I had a good enough camera to show you guys the smile on my face. This is absolutely awesome. This is what you hope for. Unfortunately, we can't quite do this well at all the tracks, but the tracks where we can do this well, we certainly are going to enjoy this tremendously. 4th position. In fact, I don't even want to change the screen right now. Let's just leave it right here. You can see we're about 7 to 8 seconds off the lead, which is actually extremely good for us. But the most important thing is, you notice we didn't lose a lap. The top 9 cars on the lead lap, we were on the lead lap. Again, all of these things are much better than what we've been doing, so we are going to thoroughly enjoy the finish to this race. And it couldn't have come at a better track for us. Grant Park is an awesome track. So much fun. So 4th position, let's move forward and see exactly what kind of money we get. And there you see, 4th position, $1,900. I believe the race purse was $2,500 if I remember correctly. So we got a pretty big portion of that, but as always, it's still not a huge race purse for most of these races. Sponsor payout plus the merchandise, which I noticed has crept up to $11. So we're selling a few pins, maybe a couple of shirts along the way. So our total bring home from the race weekend, $2,821. Now let's move forward and see what kind of race summary we get. All right, so the race summary, not quite as good as what we've seen in the last few races. Still got credit for moderate driving. We lost more in the tires than we have been, and I actually felt like we had less contact in this race than we did in some of the other races in the recent past. So either way, maybe there's a random aspect to it. Maybe there's something else that I'm not considering. But either way, we come home in 4th position. Sponsor goal, well, it's definitely achieved for this particular race, and the goal being 2 top 20s within 5 races. So this was race number 2, and we were definitely inside the top 20. $2,879 is our total bring home if you include the additional money I made by reaching our practice goal time. So now that's going to give us a total in our bank account, $29,773. We pick up 19 new fans for a new total of 211. So this was an absolutely great race. This is what we're looking forward to in the future, where we can get top 5s and maybe eventually we'll have the kind of car that can compete for victories. So that's going to do it for today. Thank you very much for joining me, And stay tuned for more Tony Stewart Sprint Car Racing.